GM is offering practical electric trucks, and this is why they are going to crush Tesla. I'll include a link to the GMC here in Salt Lake's website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. This has a massive battery. GM won't disclose how big, but I'm sure it's 200 kilowatt hours or more. Anyways, 410 miles of driving range, 645 horsepower, 765 pound-feet of torque, and this front trunk that you've been staring at. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. When it comes to the hood, it kind of has a traditional truck-like appearance. But then once you pop down to the lights, this is where things look a lot more futuristic. I mean, the design there is crazy. You also have kind of a little animation. Nothing crazy, but it does kind of pop in and out a little bit. And the actual lighting cluster is down below, but yeah, completely blacked out front end. This is an elevation. With everything painted, it does give it a more premium appearance, and that's what the elevation's always been about with GM's lineup. Tire wheel setup is 265 by 70 by 18. I like the design on the wheels. It makes the truck look a lot more kind of like muscular and chunky in a way. Anyways, unpainted fender flares. You've got your Sierra EV badge on the side. We also have side steps that are wheel to wheel. And then when you look at the side profile, you notice everything's more rounded off for aerodynamic efficiency. That's kind of an EV truck thing. When it comes to key fob features, we have our lock and unlock function, remote start. That's to drop down the tailgate. That's to open up the front trunk. And then you got your GMC logo there on the back. LED lights in the bed. We also have protection from the factory. There's also a power outlet, and this has GM's multi-pro tailgate setup. So press the little button and you can pull this whole thing down and use it as a step. Quick note, you have a series of straps on the seat setup, and you pull those straps, fold down the seats. I need to take the headrests and fold them. But anyways, you do that, and that allows you to open up the midgate function, which is a pretty cool feature. I mean, being able to extend the bed into the cab for longer items is always nice. Cool looking taillights out back, and then we do have the little bumper steps. That will cap things off for the exterior of this GMC. Keyless entry for both the front and the rear doors, and let's pop in. The combination of the cloth trim with the soft touch trim is kind of cool looking on the door panel. And that theme continues onto the seats as well. Great legroom here in the back. Yeah, this is all cloth here, which is interesting. We also have some cup holders. You can see USB ports there at the very bottom, heated seat controls, vents as well. Headroom in the back of the Sierra EV, not massive, but I fit pretty well. Let's now take a look at the front. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. This also comes equipped with memory seats, and we've got all of our nice window controls. The mirrors power fold in. The front door panel also has that same nice design as what you see in the rear. This truck can tow 12,500 pounds and has a payload capacity of 1,529 pounds. More nice trim here with the front seat. It's power adjustable with lumbar support. Passenger seat's also power adjustable with lumbar support. This is one of those vehicles where as soon as you get in, the car automatically starts up, and also look at that steering wheel. Practical controls on the front face, like your heated steering wheel function. That's for the center screen voice command controls, and this is for the Super Cruise. Regen paddle there on the back, and then we also have a column shifter, frees up space. Now I do have a full digital gauge cluster. I do think GM needs to reconsider their coloration on these clusters because there is quite a bit of glare, maybe the finish on the screen. But anyways, tons of different menus to scroll through to change what this shows information-wise. It's very user-friendly. This is also equipped with a 360 camera system. You can see out pretty much every single angle of the truck. Now, like a lot of EVs, pretty much everything's controlled in the center screen. You've got climate controls here at the bottom, also controls for the heated and ventilated seats. You have some physical buttons built in with that system. Items like the headlights are built into the screen, and then even to turn off the vehicle is also built into the screen. And then you got your main tab with most of your features, including like the drive mode select. This is quick to respond, so you know, not a big deal at all that it's all built into the big screen here. Now this is kind of cool. You got this tab here that kind of covers up the little charging area, and I do like the trim on the top. I think that's nice looking. We also have a giant center console lid here, another USB port inside. Soft touch trim on the top of the center console, and you'll see that theme of nice trim continues on the dash. And then this does have a camera rear view mirror. Pricing on this is about $80,000 for the MSRP. Let's see how this performs. Sierra EV. I should have a review on the AT4 probably sometime next week or something. We'll see. We'll see. They've got one. It just has to go through the PDI inspection. And sometimes that can actually take quite a bit of time. There's a huge, everyone knows about this, huge mechanic shortage. And so finding people to, and just in general, just like the what do you call it, the back of the house for the dealership, right? Just a big shortage in the service department in general. But let's see how this performs. We'll say it's quite comfortable. It is a big vehicle, wow. Yeah, the steering's really, I mean, it's light, but like I feel like I have to turn the wheel quite a few times to get the whole vehicle to turn. Because there is a lot of vehicle to turn. And the ride's nice. Quite nice. Let's see how this accelerates. It's pretty darn quick. It has that same feeling as the Hummer. Obviously, you know, it shares a lot with it, but you know, you accelerate and essentially you don't really feel like you're going that fast because the vehicle hides the speed so well. It is going quick, but it's just, again, it hides it so well, so you're kind of like, am I actually going that fast? And it's like, yes, you are. You most certainly are going that fast. Yeah, super seamless with the acceleration. I mean, it's really nice. It's smooth. I'll probably do another loop for you guys. Let's do, I will say, with these EVs being such heavy vehicles, sometimes like you go over bumps and everything, it can be a little bit more, I guess we'll just do that function, a little bit more jarring because you have so much weight that shifts. On smooth pavement, it's fine. It's just when you go in bumps. And I think that's also why these EVs off-road kind of struggle is, I mean, obviously we know the weight, but also from a comfort perspective, so much weight is shifting around, so you kind of feel more than you do in a lighter vehicle. I mean, this truck, I should look at the door jam sticker, but I imagine this truck probably weighs as much as a diesel. It's probably, you know, 7,000–8,000 pounds. And at that point, you've got to have HD suspension to be able to handle the weight, and yeah. And then your ride quality is not going to be not as comfortable. Not as comfortable. Okay, so we'll pop that on. Oh, okay, yep, that's faster. Ooh, buddy. Yeah, that's faster. This thing's quick. This thing is quick. Man. What a time to be alive. Pickup truck that feels as quick as a Corvette. This is nice. Again, we all know like the use case for this is pretty limited as of right now. Man, that paddles, look at this. I'm not using my foot at all. This is all the paddle. It makes me feel like it's really hard to modulate compared to a brake pedal. Let me try this again, because it makes me feel like I'm trying to learn how to drive again. Okay, can I be smooth with this? You can kind of be smooth with it. It's harder than the brake pedal though. It's a lot harder to be smooth. So in summary, this is nice. Again, use case not that big at the time, but I can see a lot of businesses benefiting from this. And I've talked about this. I'm not against electric vehicles. I just think that they're not going to be the end all be all. Like, not everyone's going to be an electric car. People still seem to think that. It's just not going to work out. There's so many different needs that people have and businesses, and so here's what it looks like. Long haul, right? Diesel is still going to be the way to go. Electric just doesn't make sense, right? You just, the payload, the capacity, all of that, it just doesn't work out in these trucks. But short haul, like if your business is just within a city area, like I think of the business my brother works at, they right now have a gas van, but an electric van would actually work quite well for what they do, because they do short trips within the city. And so then it would actually, you know, save them on cost, as long as the price of the van is, oh, they took my parking space. As long as the price of the van is reasonable, right? And that's the one thing about these electric vehicles too, is they're just so much more expensive than the ICE counterparts that that also makes it difficult to justify for people and businesses. But This is pretty much as good as it gets for an electric pickup truck. It's got good range, good power, good space, good utility. Let me know your thoughts.